Let me express my appreciation to all for your attendance here on this fourth annual lecture and for your continued support of this annual event. Your support of this lecture and of our center is so vital to what we do in the area of social justice and in addressing the development of other policy issues. Now, this year's theme for the Judge A.W. Center focuses on health. So many of us have taken the blessing of a reasonable portion of health somewhat for granted. I certainly have. In my role as a director of both the University of Maryland Medical System Board and as chair of the University Capital Region Health Hospital Board, I have come to really appreciate the importance of access to health and the health challenges and health disparities which exist in this country and in our state. I'm very sensitive to that now because of my role. Our speaker this year hardly needs any introduction. Dr. Joseph Wright is a nationally known and a Maryland and locally based physician with a specialty in pediatrics. He has served as senior vice president within the Children's National Health System and has taught as a professor in over 30 institutions and entities.
In order to achieve health equity, we must assuredly change the systems and policies that have resulted in generational injustices and that give rise to racial and ethnic health disparities. The work of advancing equity and anti-racism is necessarily iterative and incremental. It requires commitment, courage, humility, introspection, and resolve. This is uncharted territory, and moving forward can feel challenging, disruptive, frustrating, and polarizing. We can't expect to immediately have all the answers. We're at unique places on our individual journeys and must embrace the opportunity to learn from our collective fits and starts. We share 99.9% of DNA with one another. Only 0.1% varies between individuals. Yet stratification based on the minute portion of that 0.1% variation responsible for the phenotype of skin color has been used throughout history to justify a belief in human hierarchy. So those truths notwithstanding, race has been inappropriately used as a corrective, risk-adjusting, or dichotomizing variable in algorithms, practice guidelines, or policies that influence the clinical decision-making process. Structural and systemic inequities that produce disparate outcomes are broadly rampant in society, and the profession of medicine is no exception. Unwinding race-based medicine is a tall task and a heavy lift. And I know it's cliche, but certainly applicable here. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with but a single step. The University of Maryland Medical System just recently removed the race variable that has been used for decades to stage chronic kidney disease. And we are now among a number of systems across the country that are leveling the playing field for African Americans with chronic kidney disease. And this is work that is ongoing. There are many, many, many opportunities that we have in the field of medicine to make these kinds of corrections. Determination of care delivery based on capricious, subjective stratification as judged by the phenotypic physical characteristic of skin color is fraught with uncertainty. While we must surely be cognizant of the significance of assigned race along the causal pathways of disease, we cannot independently substitute race alone as a proxy for underlying biologic mechanisms. We must therefore be conscious of the role that race plays as a driver of systemic inequities and disparate outcomes, especially as it relates to the influence of the social determinants of health.